Karoline Leavitt isn't backing down. The fiery conservative has launched another lawsuit against The View, and this time, it's personal. ABC executives are in full panic mode as the young powerhouse threatens to expose the show's credibility crisis. But what pushed Leavitt over the edge? The host's recent attacks on her intelligence and career have ignited a firestorm of controversy. As The View faces a potential reckoning, we're left wondering, is this the beginning of the end for daytime TV's most controversial talk show? The recent episode of The View, featuring hosts discussing Karoline Leavitt's role in Trump's campaign, set off a firestorm of controversy. What started as a seemingly routine segment quickly spiraled into a heated debate that would push Leavitt to take unprecedented legal action against the daytime talk show. As the hosts delved into Leavitt's qualifications, tensions rose rapidly. Joy Behar, known for her sharp tongue and liberal leanings, didn't hold back. She launched into a scathing critique of Leavitt's appointment, suggesting that her looks were the primary reason for her hire. Behar's exact words cut deep. She was only hired because she's a 10 in Trump's eyes. The studio audience gasped, but Behar wasn't finished. Whoopi Goldberg, not one to be outdone, chimed in with her own controversial take. She zeroed in on Leavitt's criticism of wokeness, turning it on its head. Goldberg's pointed remark, "Without that wokeness, you might not have that job," implied that Leavitt's success was a direct result of the very political climate she was railing against. The irony was thick, and viewers at home were quick to pick up on it. The reaction on social media was explosive. Within minutes, hashtags like #cancel the View and #leave it owns the View were trending across platforms. Twitter feeds were flooded with outraged comments from Leavitt supporters and conservatives who saw the host's remarks as a direct attack not just on Leavitt, but on conservative women in general. But it wasn't just conservatives who were upset. Many viewers, regardless of political affiliation, found the comments distasteful and hypocritical. How could a show that often champions women's empowerment so casually dismiss a young woman's achievements? The contradiction was glaring, and it didn't go unnoticed. Commentators and media analysts quickly jumped into the fray. They pointed out the double standard at play. The View hosts, who often present themselves as advocates for women in the workplace, were now belittling a successful woman simply because of her conservative views. The hypocrisy was laid bare for all to see, and it wasn't a good look for the long-running talk show. As the controversy raged on, viewers and pundits alike waited with bated breath. How would Karoline Leavitt respond to such a public and personal attack? Would she take the high road, or would she hit back just as hard? The answer came swiftly and decisively. Leavitt, proving she was more than capable of handling herself in the political arena, fired back with a response that resonated widely across social media. Her words were clear and unequivocal. The View doesn't want strong women, they want obedient women. I refuse to play their game. With this single statement, Leavitt not only defended herself, but also turned the tables on her critics, exposing what she saw as the true nature of the show's supposed feminism. Leavitt's response struck a chord with many, even some who didn't necessarily agree with her politics. It highlighted a growing frustration with media figures who claim to support women, but seem to apply that support selectively based on political alignment. The young conservative had managed to transform an attack on her credentials into a broader critique of media bias and hypocrisy. The View's hosts, who were likely expecting their comments to be just another day of political banter, suddenly found themselves at the center of a media storm. Their remarks, intended to criticize Leavitt, had instead shone a spotlight on their own biases and the show's approach to political discourse. As the controversy continued to unfold, it became clear that this wasn't just about one young conservative woman in a daytime talk show. It had touched a nerve, highlighting broader issues of media bias, political polarization, and the treatment of women in politics. The View, long considered a bastion of liberal commentary, was now facing a crisis of credibility. Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit against The View isn't just another celebrity spat. It's a calculated move that could reshape the entire landscape of political discourse on daytime TV. But as the case unfolds, the real scandal may be what's happening behind the scenes at The View. The young conservative firebrand isn't pulling any punches. Her lawsuit goes beyond just calling out the hosts for their comments. Leavitt's legal team has crafted a case that strikes at the heart of ABC's credibility, naming additional defendants that have sent network executives into a panic. At the core of Leavitt's case is the claim of defamation. She's not just upset about a few catty remarks. She's arguing that The View's hosts deliberately spread false information that damaged her reputation and career. It's a bold move, especially considering the show's long-standing reputation as a liberal stronghold. But this isn't your typical celebrity lawsuit. Leavitt's action represents a direct confrontation between a rising conservative conservative star and an established liberal platform. It's a clash that could have far-reaching consequences for how political discussions play out on daytime television. Leavitt isn't shy about her motivations. She's made it clear that this lawsuit is about more than just clearing her name. In her own words, she's taking a stand to hold the media accountable for lies and smears against her and her political affiliations. It's a rallying cry that's resonating with conservatives who feel unfairly targeted by mainstream media. The political implications of this lawsuit are huge. If Leavitt succeeds, it could embolden other conservative voices to take similar actions against perceived media bias. It's not just about one young woman in a daytime talk show anymore. It's about challenging the entire media narrative. But what evidence does Leavitt have to back up her claims? She's hinting at a treasure trove of damaging information. The viral response to her rebuttal against the hosts is just the tip of the iceberg. Leavitt claims to have substantial proof that will not only support her case, but also expose deeper issues within The View and ABC. And that's where things get really interesting. As Leavitt's legal team digs deeper, they're uncovering allegations of behind-the-scenes misconduct at The View that could blow this whole case wide open. Sources close to the lawsuit suggest that the show's environment may not be as supportive of diverse opinions as it claims to be. These revelations are sending shockwaves through ABC. Executives are scrambling to contain the fallout, but it might be too late. The View, long considered a bastion of liberal commentary, is facing a crisis of credibility that could permanently alter its standing in the daytime TV landscape. The View's credibility crisis has ignited a firestorm at ABC, and network executives are in full panic mode. Behind closed doors, the atmosphere is tense, with emergency meetings and late-night strategy sessions becoming the new norm. The lawsuit that was supposed to be a simple smear job against Karoline Leavitt has spiraled into one of the biggest PR disasters The View has ever faced. Sources close to the network reveal that ABC is desperately trying to contain the fallout. In a shocking turn of events, they're reportedly reaching out to Leavitt for settlement talks. But is it too little, too late? The young conservative firebrand has already exposed the show's hypocrisy, and the public backlash is mounting. The financial implications for ABC are staggering. Sponsors that once aligned themselves with The View are now having second thoughts. The show's toxic, alienating image is driving away advertisers faster than you can say cancel culture. If Leavitt's lawsuit proceeds, the network could be facing a financial bloodbath. But it's not just about money. ABC is at a crossroads, facing a decision that could reshape the entire landscape of daytime television. Do they cut ties with The View to salvage their reputation? Or do they double down and risk further damage as public sentiment turns against the once beloved talk show? The crisis has exposed deep rifts within ABC's leadership. Insiders whisper about heated arguments and finger-pointing in the executive suites. Some are pushing for a complete overhaul of The View, while others cling to the hope that this storm will blow over like so many before it. But this time feels different. The backlash against The View isn't just coming from the usual conservative corners. Even liberal viewers are questioning the show's tactics and its place in today's media landscape. The host's comments about Leavitt have exposed a double standard that's hard to ignore, and it's forcing many to reconsider their loyalty to the program. As the crisis deepens, comparisons to previous scandals at ABC are inevitable. Remember the Roseanne Barr fiasco? Or the drama surrounding Michael Strahan's exit from Live with Kelly and Michael? Those pale in comparison to the current meltdown. The network is facing a reckoning that could fundamentally alter its entire daytime lineup. But what drastic measures might ABC consider to save face? Rumors are swirling about potential host shakeups, format changes, and even the possibility of canceling The View altogether. The stakes couldn't be higher, and every option is on the table. In a bombshell development, a leaked memo has revealed that ABC is indeed considering major changes to The View in response to the lawsuit and the ensuing backlash. The document, obtained exclusively by our sources, outlines potential scenarios ranging from a complete revamp of the host lineup to a shift in the show's political focus. The memo reportedly states, "The current situation is untenable. We must take immediate action to address the credibility crisis facing The View and, by extension, ABC as a whole." It goes on to suggest that the network is exploring the possibility of bringing in more diverse political voices and implementing stricter fact-checking protocols. But perhaps the most shocking proposal in the memo is the consideration of a temporary hiatus for The View. This unprecedented move would allow ABC to regroup, reassess, and potentially relaunch the show with a new format and mission statement. The revelations in this memo have sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. It's clear that ABC is taking the Leavitt lawsuit and its repercussions seriously. The network that once dominated daytime television is now fighting for its very survival in a rapidly changing media landscape. As the dust settles from Karoline Leavitt's explosive lawsuit against The View, a new storm is brewing behind the scenes. The hosts' united front, once as solid as a rock, is starting to show cracks. Are we about to witness the implosion of daytime TV's most controversial roundtable? Initially, The View hosts presented a unified response to Leavitt's legal action. They stood shoulder to shoulder, defending their show's integrity and dismissing the lawsuit as baseless. But as the days rolled on, whispers of discord began to echo through ABC's hallways. The first signs of trouble appeared on air. Eagle-eyed viewers noticed subtle changes in the host's body language. Whoopi Goldberg's trademark eye roll seemed more frequent, especially when Joy Behar spoke. Sarah Haynes appeared increasingly uncomfortable, often looking down at her notes rather than engaging in heated debates. And Sunny Hostin, her usual fiery demeanor seemed oddly muted. These on-camera tensions were just the tip of the iceberg. Reports of off-camera arguments began to surface, painting a picture of a fractured team struggling to maintain its public image. One insider revealed that heated exchanges had become commonplace in the dressing rooms and during commercial breaks. The controversy surrounding Leavitt's lawsuit has put each host's personal brand under intense scrutiny. Joy Behar, known for her sharp wit and unapologetic liberal stance, finds herself at the center of the storm. Her comments about Leavitt's appearance have been widely criticized, forcing her to navigate a minefield of public opinion. Whoopi Goldberg, the show's moderator and voice of reason, is facing questions about her ability to maintain control and fairness in discussions. Her remarks about Leavitt's success being tied to wokeness have been dissected and debated across social media platforms. As the pressure mounts, some hosts are reportedly attempting to distance themselves from the lawsuit and its fallout. This strategic retreat has not gone unnoticed by their colleagues or the public. Fans and commentators are calling out the hypocrisy of hosts who preach empowerment while seemingly abandoning their principles when the heat is on. The cracks in The View's foundation are widening, and the question on everyone's lips is, will one of the hosts break ranks? The tension is palpable, and the stakes couldn't be higher. With each passing day, the likelihood of a host going rogue increases, and then the bombshell drops. An anonymous source close to the show reveals that major disagreements have erupted among the hosts regarding their public statements and the handling of the lawsuit. This insider information confirms what many had suspected. The united front presented by The View is nothing more than a carefully crafted illusion. The source paints a picture of chaos behind the scenes. Hosts are arguing over how to address the lawsuit on air, with some pushing for a more apologetic stance, while others insist on doubling down. The disagreements have become so intense that some hosts are reportedly refusing to speak to each other off camera. This revelation sends shockwaves through the entertainment industry. The idea that The View's hosts, who have built their brand on open and honest discussions, are at odds with each other behind closed doors is a stunning development. It raises questions about the authenticity of their on-air interactions and the future of the show itself. Adding fuel to the fire, insider reports suggest that ABC executives are questioning whether Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg are more of a liability than an asset to the show. This internal scrutiny marks a significant shift in the network's stance towards its star hosts and indicates that major changes could be on the horizon. The backlash against The View has led to a widespread questioning of the show's credibility. Fans and commentators are calling out the hosts for preaching empowerment while belittling women who disagree with them. This hypocrisy has not gone unnoticed, and it's clear that the court of public opinion is turning against the once beloved daytime staple. Remember when The View was the darling of daytime TV? Those days are long gone. The show that once preached female empowerment is now facing an unprecedented revolt from its core audience. But it's not just viewers who are jumping ship, and what comes next could shake ABC to its very foundations. Longtime supporters of The View are turning their backs on the show in droves. Social media is ablaze with comments from once loyal fans expressing their disappointment and anger. The hypocrisy of preaching empowerment while belittling conservative women like Karoline Leavitt hasn't gone unnoticed. It's as if the hosts forgot their own message of supporting all women, regardless of political beliefs. But the real shock comes from the numbers. Viewership data paints a grim picture for The View, since since the lawsuit announcement. The show is hemorrhaging viewers at an alarming rate, facing what insiders are calling one of its biggest PR disasters in recent history. It's not just a blip on the radar. This is a full-blown crisis that's threatening to topple the once mighty daytime talk show. Conservative media figures have seized on this moment, framing the host's comments as elitist and out of touch. Their criticism is resonating with a growing audience that feels alienated by the show's liberal stance. It's not just right-wing pundits jumping on the bandwagon. Even some liberal commentators are questioning whether The View has lost its way. But the real bombshell? Major advertisers are getting cold feet. Brands that once clamored to be associated with The View are now quietly backing away. The controversy surrounding the lawsuit has prompted these companies to take a hard look at their advertising strategies. It's a game of corporate chess, and The View is quickly finding itself in check. The ripple effects are being felt across ABC's broader audience. Viewers are questioning not just The View, but the network's commitment to fairness and diverse perspectives. It's a crisis of credibility that extends far beyond a single show, threatening to undermine ABC's entire daytime lineup. As the controversy continues to swirl, the question on everyone's mind is, will major sponsors start pulling out? The answer came sooner than anyone expected. In a shocking turn of events, a high-profile sponsor has announced a review of their relationship with The View. This isn't just a slap on the wrist, it's a clear signal that the show's controversial image is becoming too hot for big brands to handle. This sponsor's move could be the first domino to fall. Other advertisers are undoubtedly watching closely, weighing the risks of staying associated with a show that's rapidly losing public favor. For The View, this couldn't come at a worse time. With ratings already in decline and public opinion turning sour, the loss of major advertising dollars could be the final nail in the coffin. The controversy has ignited a broader discussion about the changing dynamics of daytime television. Viewers are questioning whether The View can survive in its current format amidst growing public discontent. The show that once prided itself on fostering open dialogue now finds itself at the center of a debate about media bias and the limits of political discourse on TV. ABC executives are scrambling to contain the fallout, but they're fighting an uphill battle. The court of public opinion has spoken, and it's not in The View's favor. With each passing day, the show's future looks increasingly uncertain. The controversy surrounding The View isn't just about one lawsuit or a few misplaced comments. It's a symptom of a much larger shift in media discourse. Viewers are no longer passive consumers of information. They're demanding accountability from both conservative and liberal voices in political commentary. This situation reflects a broader trend where audiences are becoming more critical of media narratives, calling for transparency and integrity from their news sources. As Karoline Leavitt's legal battle unfolds, it's clear that this isn't just about her versus The View. It's about the future of political discourse on daytime TV. The outcome of this case could reshape how talk shows approach controversial topics and handle differing political viewpoints. Will we see a more balanced representation of diverse opinions, or will the divide between conservative and liberal media grow even wider? The stakes are high, and the implications reach far beyond ABC's studios. As viewers watch this drama unfold, they're left wondering, is this the beginning of a new era in political commentary, or the end of The View as we know it? One thing's for sure, the landscape of daytime TV will never be the same.